Thank you for learning with us in this video. You are one step closer to financial freedom. We want to extend our gratitude to the team at Real Bookies PPH for providing their software for this lesson. To avoid problems down the road, limiting your players is a necessary part of business. This is the final lesson in our financial chapter. You're making great progress in the academy. One of the owners here has a saying we want to share with you today. You can skin a sheep weekly, but you can only gut them once. How does that relate to bookmaking? Well, bookies control limits, and it's better to win a consistent amount most weeks than to win big once. Here's an example. Player number 1 has no credit limit and loses $2,000 in 1 week. He has to set up a payment plan with you as he was betting above his means. Once he settles up, if he does, you'll often lose that player. Player number 2 has a 300 weekly credit limit. Loses it all, pays up, his livelihood isn't impacted. If this player lost every week, which won't realistically happen, they'd lose $15,600 in a year. As you can see, winning smaller consistent amounts is always better than one big win. If you need a refresher on player betting limits and credit limits, study chapter number 2, lesson number 2. Limiting or closing a player's account. Today we're going to talk about a necessary evil, limiting or blocking a player's account. First off, here are some reasons why you would limit or close a player's account. The player wins too much. Some guys are sharp bettors and win consistently. There's no sense in continually letting a sharp eat into your weekly profits. Simply restrict them or ban them. One immediate way to identify a sharp bettor is that they're always beating the closing line. Another way is through your paperhead reports. Under the Figures tab, there's a player analysis report. You can select any player that's on your betting sheet to bring up a table showing how the player is doing. Player analysis report includes bet count, wagered amount, win-loss amount, and the hold percentage. The data can be shown in 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or yearly intervals. However, we don't recommend waiting a year to limit a sharp bettor. Arbitrage players. Bookies don't want players that are arbitrage bettors, or arbors. This type of player bets all outcomes of a bet to guarantee a small profit at multiple bookies. This is another reason why partnering with a legitimate PPH is so important. PPH services set the betting lines and keep them updated 24/7. Arbitrage players, or arbors, often look for stale lines at bookies where they can find an arbitrage opportunity. These players take free shots at bookies. Sure, you may win some of these bets, but generally you don't want arbors on your betting sheet. One way to determine an arbitrage bettor is through their wagers amounts. They often wager weird amounts like $313.35 instead of just betting the 300, so keep an eye on this type of activity. Check the bet ticker once a night just to see where your players bet that day. Unprofitable players. Some players are simply going to be unprofitable. A player that bets $5 a game and only a few times a week isn't going to make you anything after PPH fees. This is why we have taught you to vet every new player before opening them up an account. It's easier to learn about a player beforehand, ask them what they plan on wagering on and how much they bet on average. While some guys will lie, most will be at least somewhat honest. We hope you learned a lot in this one. It's an important one. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to keep getting more industry leading info.